Hello history buffs, welcome to another deep dive into the past. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most significant conflicts in human history, World War II. This war wasn't just a series of battles, it was a complex web of political, economic and social factors that culminated in a global catastrophe. From 1939 to 1945, the world was locked in a struggle that reshaped borders, toppled empires, and redefined the global order. The sheer scale of destruction and the human cost were unprecedented. The seeds of this war were sown in the ashes of World War I. The Treaty of Versailles, which was meant to ensure peace, instead laid the groundwork for future conflict. The Treaty of Versailles, designed to bring peace, instead fueled resentment and instability. It imposed harsh penalties on Germany, creating a sense of humiliation and economic hardship. Germany, burdened by crippling reparations and territorial losses, became a breeding ground for extremism. The economic depression of the 1930s only exacerbated these issues, leading to widespread unemployment and poverty. Meanwhile, across Europe, new ideologies were taking hold. Fascism and communism were on the rise, each promising solutions to the economic and social turmoil of the time. Fascism in Italy, with its emphasis on nationalism and authoritarianism, found fertile ground in a nation grappling with economic hardship. Benito Mussolini's rise to power was a clear indication of the growing appeal of these radical ideologies. In Japan, militarism surged, driven by expansionist ambitions and a desire for raw materials. The Japanese government sought to build an empire in Asia, leading to increased militarization and aggressive foreign policies. As the 1930s unfolded, the world watched nervously as these forces gathered momentum, threatening to plunge humanity into another global conflict. The stage was set for a war that would change the course of history forever. In Germany, Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party rose to power, promising to restore German greatness and overturn the perceived injustices of Versailles. Hitler's expansionist ambitions soon became clear. In 1938, Germany annexed Austria in the Anschluss, a bloodless takeover that sent shockwaves through Europe. Emboldened, Hitler set his sights on Czechoslovakia, specifically the ethnically German Sudetenland region. At the Munich conference, Britain, France and Italy, desperate to avoid another war, appeased Hitler, ceding the Sudetenland in exchange for guarantees of peace. This act of appeasement, while intended to prevent war, only emboldened Hitler further. On September 1st, 1939, Hitler unleashed his Blitzkrieg, a lightning-fast military tactic against Poland. German tanks and aircraft smashed through Polish defenses, quickly overrunning the country. Britain and France, honoring their guarantees to Poland, declared war on Germany 2 days later. World War II had begun. The German Blitzkrieg proved devastatingly effective. In April 1940, Denmark and Norway fell to swift German invasions. Next, Hitler turned his attention westward, unleashing his panzer divisions on the Low Countries, Belgium, the Netherlands and Luxembourg. The Battle of France, which began in May 1940, showcased the full might of the German war machine. German forces outmaneuvered and overwhelmed French and British troops, driving towards the English Channel. The evacuation of Dunkirk, a desperate scramble to rescue trapped British and Allied soldiers, became a symbol of both British resilience and the precarious state of the Allied cause. By June 1940, France had fallen. The country was divided into a German-occupied zone in the north and a puppet state, Vichy France, in the south. With continental Europe under Nazi control, Britain stood alone, braced for a possible German invasion. Section 5, Turning the Tide, from North Africa to D-Day. The Battle of Britain, a months-long air campaign waged over the skies of southern England, saw the Royal Air Force valiantly defend the island nation against the Luftwaffe, the German Air Force. This battle was crucial as it marked the first major defeat of Hitler's military forces. The resilience and bravery of the RAF pilots, often referred to as the Few, played a pivotal role in ensuring that Britain remained free from German occupation. Hitler's failure to break British morale or secure air superiority forced him to postpone indefinitely his plans for an invasion of Britain. The Blitz, a sustained bombing campaign against Britain, aimed to demoralize the British people, but instead it galvanized them. The spirit of the British people, enduring nightly bombings and destruction, became a symbol of resistance and fortitude. In June 1941, Hitler broke his non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union, launching a massive invasion of the vast country. This operation, known as Operation Barbarossa, was the largest military invasion in history. The initial success of the German forces was staggering, but the vastness of the Soviet Union and the harsh winter conditions soon turned the tide. The Eastern Front, as it became known, would prove to be the deadliest theater of the war, consuming millions of lives and shaping the conflict's outcome. The brutal combat and extreme conditions tested the limits of human endurance. The Soviet Union's eventual counter-offensive, culminating in the Battle of Stalingrad, marked a turning point in the war against Germany. Meanwhile, in December 1941, the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor brought the United States into the war, fundamentally altering the balance of power. The surprise attack galvanized American public opinion and led to a full-scale entry into the global conflict. The industrial might and manpower of the United States would become a decisive factor in the Allied victory, as American forces joined the fight in both the European and Pacific theaters. Section 6. The Eastern Front Inferno, a clash of titans. The Eastern Front was a battleground of unimaginable scale and brutality. It was here that the full horrors of war were unleashed, with millions of soldiers and civilians caught in the crossfire. The sheer scale of the conflict was unprecedented, stretching from the Baltic Sea in the north to the Black Sea in the south. From the siege of Leningrad, where the city endured a grueling blockade for nearly 900 days, resulting in the deaths of over 1 million people, to the Battle of Stalingrad, one of the deadliest battles in history, where the Soviet Union turned the tide against the Axis forces. German and Soviet forces clashed in titanic struggles that redefined the meaning of total war. The ferocity and determination displayed by both sides were unparalleled, with entire cities reduced to rubble and countless lives lost. The Battle of Kursk in the summer of 1943 marked a turning point in the conflict. This colossal engagement saw the largest tank battle in history, with thousands of tanks and aircraft engaged in a brutal contest of strength and strategy. As the Red Army decisively defeated the Wehrmacht, the German army, the momentum began to shift. The victory at Kursk was a significant blow to German morale and military capability in the largest tank battle in history. The scale and intensity of this battle were a testament to the industrial and human resources committed by both sides. As the war progressed, the tide slowly began to turn against Germany. The relentless pressure from the Soviet forces pushed the Germans back, leading to a series of retreats and defensive battles. The Allied victory in North Africa, which eliminated the Axis presence on the continent, followed by the invasion of Sicily and Italy in 1943, opened up a new front against the Axis powers. This further stretched the already overextended German forces. With German forces stretched thin, fighting on multiple fronts, their ability to sustain prolonged engagements was severely compromised. The stage was set for the most daring amphibious assault in history, the D-Day landings in Normandy, France. This operation would become a pivotal moment in the Allied efforts to liberate Western Europe. The success of the D-Day landings marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany as Allied forces began their push towards Berlin, signaling the final phase of the war in Europe. Section 7. The Pacific Theater Island Hopping to Victory. In the Pacific, the United States waged a grueling island-hopping campaign against Japan. From the Battle of Midway, a decisive American naval victory, to the brutal island campaigns of Iwo Jima and Okinawa, American forces fought their way towards the Japanese home islands. The dropping of the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945 forced Japan's unconditional surrender, bringing World War II to a close. The world had witnessed a conflict of unprecedented destruction, one that left an indelible mark on human history. Section 8. The Legacy of War, a World Reshaped. World War II reshaped the world map and ushered in a new global order. The war led to the decline of European colonialism and the rise of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers. The formation of the United Nations, intended to prevent future global conflicts, reflected the desire for a more cooperative and peaceful world. The war also had a profound impact on technology, medicine, and social attitudes. From the development of the atomic bomb to advances in aviation and computing, World War II accelerated technological innovation. The horrors of the Holocaust, the systematic genocide of Jews and other minorities by Nazi Germany, led to a renewed focus on human rights and international justice. Section 9. Join the History Hit community. Subscribe for more. The story of World War II is one of courage, sacrifice, and resilience. It is a story that continues to shape our world today, reminding us of the importance of peace, diplomacy, and understanding. If you found this journey through World War II captivating, be sure to subscribe to History Hit for more fascinating explorations of the past. Together, let's keep history alive.